What are some ways you can tap into SEO to help your brand better reach and engage mom customers? All these moms that you want to try to get your products and services into the hands of. Today's guest, Lorianna Sprague, is the founder and CEO of Upfront Mktg, a marketing agency that's known for its innovative strategies and personalized approach to brand growth. With years of experience in the marketing industry, Lorianna is also an SEO expert, which is what she's going to be talking about with us today, and has a proven track record of helping businesses enhance their digital presence and connect with their audience through empathy-driven marketing tactics. Welcome to Marketing with Empathy, the podcast for brands that want to target and engage moms. Moms influence or control 85% of all household purchases, making them a lucrative market to figure out. Even if moms aren't your only audience, they're a critical one to figure out for many, many brands. I'm your host, Sarah Panus, and I have more than 20 years of experience working with big brands to small brands like Sleep Number, Starbucks, SheFit, American Heart Association, and more. So tune in here, guys, for ideas that will get your products and services into the hands of moms who need them. And thanks to your support, this podcast is in the top 5% of all podcasts, and we're a member of the Marketing Podcast Network. So let's hear from today's sponsors and then jump right into my SEO conversation with Lorianna Sprague, the founder of Upfront Mktg. All right, Lorianna, I'm so excited to talk all about SEO with you because SEO is such a workhorse, behind the scenes in a lot of different ways. And there are ways to tap into it that can help brands better engage moms. And so I was curious to kind of dissect that, learn about SEO in general, but also mom specific, any insights you have for companies that are listening. So before we get into your advice, can you kind of level set for us in a big picture, explain like how can SEO help brands better reach and engage moms?
So there's a lot of different aspects to SEO. Like you said, it is a workhorse. It really is a workhorse. And so I'll touch on the different aspects and how they can tie back into moms. So the first one is really keyword optimization for mom-centric searches. SEO helps brands identify and target the phrases that moms are searching for, such as parenting tips or product reviews, family activities, and health advice, and then incorporating those relevant keywords into content. There's also local SEO for local businesses that are family oriented that want to attract moms, and doing local SEO helps people show up in Google's local pack or on map searches with better visibility in your local area to show up for the moms that are looking for what you have to offer. Any kind of content that addresses what moms' pain points are is going to be great. And SEO is a fantastic tool for doing the research to dive in and identify those topics. The link building aspect of SEO helps connect through community. So we'll dive into that more probably later and define what link building is and that kind of thing, but it really connects the dots off the website to a mom community you want to tap into and puts your brand and your empathy and your expertise in front of them. I didn't even plan on saying empathy there, I promise.
Well, that's great, right? That's the mode of the show, which is how do we better connect heart to heart, mind to mind with our audiences. And a big way of them is understanding one, like the insights, like you mentioned from a keyword perspective, and also how to help them find you through local and online and all the things. Thank you. So that's like a good umbrella, folks, of like SEO and all the richness that's in there. So to get the most out of these SEO insights, where should brands start?
All right. So your starting point is always keyword research. And the start of that start is your seed keywords. So there's always clients I've had that don't even know what their keywords are. They're using the wrong keywords. They're coming to me because they're not showing up in Google search results for anything that matters, and they're getting no traffic from search. And we start with, what do you think people are saying to find you, to find your products, to find your services, to look for solutions to their pain points? What are their pain points? And then from there, who do you think your competitors are? And then we'll go and dissect the competitors and see what keywords they're actually using in their websites, and then come back with, here's what the data tells us. Here's the keywords that are relevant. And here's how many searches a month they have on average, either in your local area or across your geographic target market, whatever that might be.
I've worked some on SEO in the past with different companies and corporate. And it's interesting how sometimes as a brand, how you talk about yourself doesn't match up with what people are searching for. Do you find that too?
All the time. It's very, very common. And so getting companies to step away from internal industry speak and jargon that doesn't mean anything to their audience and to begin to talk about themselves the way their audience is talking about what they do is sometimes a struggle. So getting a company first to understand that how their audience is talking about them is how they need to talk about themselves if they want to be found, as that's usually a starting point.
When you're doing the research, like one thing then is like people will say, well, we don't know what to search for. Like, how do we look for these things? So obviously they could hire a company like yours that helps do all of that research for them. Any other tips like of, as a company's thinking about looking and trying to understand all of these SEO insights, like places or people and types of people they should be thinking about
Well,
accessing or
yeah,
adding to their team?
if they want to understand their audience better,
Mhm.
there's other ways to do audience research before they even hire an SEO company. Um, Things like, Reddit has a bazillion subreddits. I know bazillion is not a real number, but it's a lot. I don't know the number of them. And you can dive into the subreddits and see how real moms are talking about their particular pain points as they relate to a specific brand or category or industry or whatever, and say, okay, now I understand how they're talking about things. And that'll give you a lot of ideas for the kinds of keywords and topics maybe to be writing about, developing content around, or incorporating into your products and service offerings. In terms of rounding out an existing team, you need to find somebody who's an SEO specialist who has experience with keyword research, somebody that's senior enough that they have been autonomous or leading teams with keyword research. Because often within an agency setting, you have a specialist who works under the supervision of someone who's more of a strategist who's got more experience. So if you want somebody who can enter a company and then sort of lead the charge on this with authority and expertise, it's got to be a more senior person who's been at a strategy level somewhere else.
Reddit is something I'm hearing more and more and more about lately. I'm not sure if it's just like that, whatever that effect is called, where you like hear something and then you start to see it and hear it
Like when you
everywhere.
buy a new
Uh,
car
uh,
and
yes, I'm having that,
yeah,
like, where it just keeps coming up from an SEO perspective and a marketing and a content. It's interesting because as in my world, when I'm doing content research and I'm looking online for places and insights and things like that, like, as companies are doing that, I think it's a great example of a place that you can go one place that you can go to see and kind of say initially, like, what are you hearing within different threads there in Reddit? It shouldn't be the only place you look for insights, but I like that you brought that up because it is exploding and there's a lot of new stats it seems like around the benefits with Reddit. So interesting you brought that up.
absolutely.
Okay, so then as we think about content then, how can we help our content rank higher in the search engine results and be seen by more of those mom eyeballs that we're trying to reach?
So, obviously, you're going to start with your keywords. We've already touched on that. And you're going to optimize around those keywords. You're going to put it on the website, and then hopefully, you're going to share it on all of your social platforms. Hopefully, you have some kind of an email newsletter to get it out in front of people. And then, in so doing, you get links from your social profiles back to your content that Google's crawler or Bing's crawler, the search engine crawlers, can crawl through and follow those links back to your website, and then real people and real eyes being on this content also provides an opportunity for them to share and then for someone else to pick up on it and link to it naturally from somewhere else. All of this behavior creates signals to Google that say, hey, this is something to look at. And once content is crawled, the chances that it can rank increase. If content is never crawled, it will never rank. It's just it seems to be a no-brainer, but it's worth stating. If your content is never crawled, it can never rank in Google. So you need it to be crawled. Sharing it is the first step. Email and social are how you get that done. Real people then interact with it, assuming this is valuable content and people find value in it. They're going to link to it and they're going to share it with more people. And that organic explosion of sharing and linking are all signals that continue to tell Google pay attention to this content. Let's get it a little higher. Let's get it a little higher. Now, from an SEO agency standpoint, when you're intentionally trying to force improved rankings, you would link build. Some people are against link building. Some people are for it. Link building is the practice of getting another website to link back to a page on your website. And that allows you to have what's called link juice. Google created that term, not me. Link juice traveling from their website to yours, and that passes a little thing called domain authority, and it allows your website to rank better in Google.
When you do link building, because it's interesting, I know, like, there's some people who are like, "Oh, it's gross," but there is, like, good ways of doing link building with strategic partners. Like, if you're a company and you work with
Yes.
other people and you're all kinda supporting each other anyway, those are really
Mm-hmm.
natural, fluid things where you share similar types of audiences. I think where it gets icky and it just feels weird and inauthentic is when it's just, like, these random things. I actually, just for my own consulting business, I think like once a week, I get emails from different people who are asking me to link to their site on my blog. And it's just so weird. And that's the authentic spammy part of link building. But I think you have to be smart about wherever it's going, because then that audience will engage with it and then hopefully share. And to your point, it's just like this nice cycle. Is there a minimum number of links that you want to have against it that will help it have a better shot within the
No such
Google,
thing.
within
Like
the link juice?
if someone were to give you that number, I would say I call BS because there's
Okay.
no such thing as that number. In fact, the likelihood that I would ever link build to a blog post is non-existent because it's kind of a waste. The pages of the site that generally get link building are your homepage and your primary product pages or product collection or category pages, your service pages. If you were to develop a really impressive piece of evergreen content or an infographic, something designed to attract links,
Mhm.
that one could get link building done to it. Otherwise, individual blogs, I would not do link building for.
What about the blog, like the blog homepage? So you have a central repository of where all the
Really not.
content is living on like the website. And what
Mhm.
about that landing page?
Nope, that's rarely a
Okay.
landing page. You could maybe do a blog category because the category page links off to all of the related content within that category or topic. So
Mhm.
maybe, but even that is a highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. The other approach is called internal linking. So linking from your blog using the keywords that really matter to you to the pages that are your money pages for lead gen or for purchases, whatever it is. So your blog functions to attract people at the top of the funnel who are
Mhm.
just doing research. When you get links and you get traffic to those pages, the internal links that are on those pages cause the people to flow in to your money pages, which is where you want them to go. Google looks at the number of internal links that you have on your website pointing to your pages as your own votes for your pages. And so the more links you have to the pages that really matter to you, the more Google says they understand based on this that you value those pages the most, and those are the ones that you want them to rank. And when you
Right.
use anchor text or the right keywords in the links that you build, it sends signals to Google for what this page is relevant for to you, and that helps it rank for the keywords that you want to go after.
Mhm. Okay, I wanna back up for a sec. Can you explain why your point about the blog main page not being, like, that ideal place from an SEO? Why is that difficult?
Sure. So link building is very expensive. And to your point earlier, there's good and there's bad link building. Good link building is very purposeful, it takes a lot of time, it often involves relationship building. And when it takes so much time to get a link, you don't really want it going to a blog category page, which is not going to drive conversion. You want it going to a page that's going to drive conversion. And oftentimes, you again with the point you made about natural, it does need to be natural. And there's very few places on the web where you might create a link that it makes the most sense for it to go to someone's blog page or
Mhm.
blog category or top level blog page. That's just not a page most people are seeking out. An individual blog because the topic is what they are seeking, or an individual service page or product collection page. Those all make sense, but almost no one is looking for a blog at the top level or a blog category or a blog tag page.
Sure. Because what they're look to your point, the beauty of that blog content is its value, its education, it's pulling them into the site. It's also content that can be used across multiple different channels for different ways to engage your audience. Okay.
Yeah,
Because it's
exactly.
not a statement that blogs are bad and you shouldn't do them on
No,
your
not at
page because there's
all.
a lot of benefit from blogs, right?
A lot of benefit. Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else with link building that you would say things to do or to avoid?
Focus on quality over quantity. We kind of touched on that. Creating content that is link worthy to begin with, which isn't new to you. You know all about it. We create content that's valuable, not fodder for search engines. Google has it in their quality guidelines. You follow something called EEAT, which is expertise, experience, authority, and trust. We need all of that to be in the content in order for Google to rank it well. Guest blogging is a great opportunity, especially with all the mom blogs that are out there. If people are trying to reach moms, moms love to read mom blogs, and mom blogs often will take guest posts, but they have to meet their editorial guidelines. So
Mhm.
they might choose to write the post, or they'll allow you to do it if it meets their quality guidelines, and then they'll post it to the site, and you can have a link back to your content from there. So that's always a great opportunity. The relationships that you mentioned, that's fantastic. You want to avoid anything that's low quality, anything that's spammy. Don't buy links.
Okay. Anything else that we should talk about in terms of how brands can use SEO to better engage this mom customer audience?
I think some other things to think about might be the visual aspect of moms and their busyness. So, Google rewards mobile first optimization, and I think moms are a very mobile first audience because they're busy. They're doing their research on their phones, they're doing everything from their phones as they're running around dealing with life. So, mobile optimization is very important. Authentic storytelling probably doesn't even need to be said on this particular podcast, but authentic storytelling is important because you want to connect with your moms. And the better you connect, the more that ties into SEO. It seems strange, but SEO is like a fungus that has its little fingers in every aspect of real marketing. And when real marketing is done well, or reverse that, SEO is done properly, it's real marketing and it affects everything in a positive way. So your social media profiles need to be built correctly. And when you are doing the right things with your content on your website and sharing it on social, the two benefit each other. The same is true for PR. PR done properly is a huge benefit to SEO. And SEO, in particular, the link building aspect of SEO, has very PR sort of undertones in how it can be used. So the two are very complementary and support each other.
Quick follow-up question though on that. Like you
Sure.
said the visual aspect of moms is in like that mobile first. Is
Yes.
there anything else visually we should be thinking about? What do you mean by visual?
So there is image search results and there is video search results. It's not just the alt text on an image. The file name for your image file, as well as the alt text on the image, all play a role in whether that image shows up in search results, image search results, for a query that someone puts in. So naming your files for relevant and important keywords so that people aren't annoyed by your image showing up for not relevant stuff. Having video that shows up and it has a well written transcript so it can show up in the video search results, which is the same thing as YouTube, but on Google. So it can show up in both. Moms are just very visual. Pinterest is a huge place for them. Pinterest isn't necessarily a SEO, but because social and SEO are sort of enmeshed with one another, it's a great place to be if you want to reach moms.
Yeah, and I always think of Pinterest as a search engine because so many moms go there to do research and to search for things. So it
Mm-hmm.
acts like a search engine
It
from
really
that
does.
perspective. So as companies are thinking of content, you're thinking then about written as well as videos and imagery. How does audio play into that mix? Like a podcast that's
Um,
audio only. Like what
with
does
AI, at
that?
some point, it might work out. But for audio things, like with the audio aspect of video, you do a transcript file
Mhm.
that pulls all the audio into a written form so it can be read by Google's crawlers and indexed for what it's relevant for.
I think that's an awesome foundation, some great examples specifically, and how we can think about this fungus, as you described, SEO, like growing out across all the branches within your marketing, and how you can think about that for both insights, but then also to help better reach and find and connect with these moms that you want to ultimately buy your products or services. I think that's a great place to stop, Lorianna. Before we hop off, though, tell everyone how they can connect with you online if they want to follow up and talk more about SEO. Tell us about your agency, about you. Where should people find you?
Absolutely. So my agency is Upfront, and our web address is upfrontmktg.com. Connect with us there via chat or schedule a 15-minute strategy call if you just want to talk through some stuff that you're thinking about and see if we might be a good fit for each other. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, all under Upfront Mktg.
Okay, that's a wrap. Until next week, God bless.